I'm Zyen and welcome to my YouTube video. So in this video, I'm planning to take apart this old laptop. Now, why am I taking apart this laptop? It's because it no longer works. I have been told that the motherboard is fried. Who told me? Well, when I sent this for repair, that's what the person at the repair shop said. So what is this laptop? Now, this laptop is a refurbished Toshiba Flora. That's not Toshiba. Now, what is this laptop? This laptop is a refurbished Hitachi Flora SE210, which I had bought through one of those online shopping platforms. I bought this as a spare laptop for really cheap. I think this was under 300 ringgit at the time of purchase. And the reason I bought it was because at that time, I wanted to try having multiple laptops with multiple webcams when I was trying to take multi-angle shots. Now, obviously, the adventure failed. It would be so much better to use multiple cameras instead of laptops with webcams. And speaking of webcams, this laptop does not even have a webcam. Anyway, at that time, I didn't return the laptop because I thought I could use this laptop as some kind of spare. But after just a few months, it stopped working. Maybe because the charger didn't have a surge protector or some other reason. But anyway, it won't power on anymore. So throughout my life, I've had a lot of laptops, and if the laptop is old but working, normally I would give it away instead of taking it apart, because if the laptop still can be used, I like to bless somebody else with the laptop so that the laptop goes to good use instead of me cannibalizing it and tearing it apart and having the laptop all go to waste. But since this laptop no longer is working, we might as well take it apart. So let's look at how to take this apart. By the way, a related but unnecessary story about this laptop. So when I had sent this laptop for repair, I also sent another laptop for repair at the same time. The other laptop was an Asus laptop, which was much older than this, but I was told that was very much better and it was fixed quite easily. And the repair technician whom I sent the laptops to took a look at this and said, hey, this laptop doesn't work anymore. He actually asked whether he could keep this laptop for spare parts. I told him, okay, but you have to reduce the cost of repair for the other laptop because I'm giving you parts for free, right? And his response was, that's okay, you can take this laptop back then. Go figure. Okay, so now let's take a closer look at this laptop. So what are some of the things that I plan to do with this laptop? To be honest, I don't know. So that's why I'm going to take it apart to see what are the components that exist inside it and what can be used for. However, one thing for sure is that the very first thing I'm going to do is to take out the hard drive, and I'm going to put that hard drive inside a hard drive case, and we're going to test whether the hard drive still works or not. And if it does, then I would have an extra external hard drive. So this laptop looks obviously refurbished. There is red film that is stuck over the cover, so we can't see the logo at all. Disclaimer, this film was stuck by the reseller, not me. So this was part of the refurbishment process prior to it being sold on the online shopping platform. If we look at the back of the laptop, we can see that there are screws over here. I don't see any screws on this side though. To be honest, I don't know how to remove this panel, so we're going to figure this out as we go along. I'm going to remove this battery compartment for safety, so you can see that there's a lock and unlock latch over here. So we're going to unlock this, and we're going to gently remove this battery. Now, obviously, to remove the screws, we can't use a normal screwdriver. You need to use screwdrivers that are small enough to fit those screws, which means that you have to use screwdrivers which are designed for these tiny electronics. All right, so now that I've removed the battery compartment, we can see that there are actually additional screws over here. And we're going to try to remove all of these screws and see whether we can take off this back panel. Okay. So I've got a screwdriver here, obviously that does not fit. So we're going to try with another screwdriver. Nope, that does not fit either. Nope, does not fit. How about this one? It's not catching. Oh, this is so much better. Okay. Somehow it's a different screw needed. Nope. 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 Mm. I find it very strange. Okay. So as you can see that I tried so many small screwdrivers, it didn't work. Now I'm trying a larger screwdriver and that seems to work. So sometimes using a computer screwdriver doesn't work in removing the screws off the back of a laptop. Okay, so just going to put this in a, well, in theory, somewhere safe. In theory lah. Okay, so we can see that it can take out, but something's catching it. I think this is the catch. Now you can see I've already removed all the screws that are visible from the back panel, but it won't come off. I've also tried using a screwdriver to see if I can separate the panels, but it won't come off. So it looks like there is a catch that's keeping the panel on. So I believe these are the catches, and I'm going to press them and see if these are actually the catches. Whereas I need another flat head. So I'm going to see if these are actually the catches, so I can separate this. Now, I don't actually have training in taking apart a computer, so please don't mind the complete lack of elegance in which I'm doing things. Yep, these are actually the catches. I can see that when I did this, it actually separated. This one's still holding it in, and this one too. Okay, it's still not coming off. something is still holding it. So we're just going to take off this and see if there's a screw underneath, because sometimes there is. No, there isn't. There's no screw underneath that. Okay, so there's something else that's holding it in. I've already removed this screw. Let's see. So I'm running the screwdriver along the edging here to see if I can pop it up. Okay. Honestly, even if I ruin this, it doesn't really matter because this laptop has already gone to hell. I'm just trying to see isn't there a way to elegantly remove this? I'm sure there must be an easy way to remove this. I just can't figure it out. So I tried looking under the rubber feet of the laptop, but there are no screws there. I couldn't figure out how to pry open the back panel because I ran a screwdriver all around the edge and it wouldn't come off. So I finally gave up and gave in and checked a YouTube video, and it turns out that we have to pry it open from the keyboard side. Okay, so yeah, looks like the keyboard is able to pop off, but it's not popping off. So I'm going to try to gently remove the keyboard if I can. Okay, I can't see. That's what the light's for, right? Okay. There we go. Trying to remove the catches. It's not coming off. Okay, there we go. My God, so difficult, so stupid and crazy. Like, okay. Okay, now let's see. Got the keyboard off. What is there something else I need to remove? Oh, looks like there are some additional screws here. Gosh, why is it so difficult? Nope, my screwdriver doesn't fit. So let's try to take another screwdriver. Let's see if that fits. Okay. This screw's coming out. Let's try this one. Nope. So it honestly doesn't matter if I ruin this laptop anyway, because normally would be really careful because we need to put the laptop back together. But since I'm cannibalizing this laptop and this laptop isn't quite working so well, I don't really have to put it back together. Okay, the screws are not coming off. Oh, loosen also, but still don't come out. Okay. This screw looks a little bit worn, like it's... I'll try to use another, just the other one. Okay, these bits are coming off. God, this is no wonder this laptop isn't popular. So difficult to take apart. So the problem I have is that there's a screw that I cannot seem to remove. The screw won't catch. And that's because the screw is a little bit worn. Let's see if I can remove as much of the panel as I can. Anyway. Oh, I haven't removed this screw either, so... I should use a magnet next time. Okay. Okay. Whew. Okay, so sometimes if the small screwdriver doesn't work, the large one works better. So that's finally off. Let me try to remove there's a wire stuck here that trying to remove the screw safely, and yep, screws here. Okay, so there's lots of connections obviously. So we're now trying to find okay, so this is the motherboard. The motherboard's dead, as we all know. Okay, I don't know which is the hard drive. I'm going to flip this upside down just so that I can see. No, there's nothing here. So this part is blank. It's this. There's nothing underneath here because, as you can see, this is just where the battery compartment was supposed to be. Okay. Laptop hard drive. This is a network card, IEEE. This is the motherboard. This is this one's the it's a RAM upgrade. It's a USB SSD card. So what does the SSD hard drive look like? This is the SSD hard drive. This is the SSD hard drive. Okay, so obviously, just to show how little I know, this will not work. No, this is the RAM. 4 gig RAM. This is a RAM. Which one's a hard drive? This one's a RAM because it says 4 gig. Is it the RAM? Shoot. Is it the RAM? Yeah, this is the RAM. That's right. This is RAM, which is the hard drive. This is the IEEE. I pass him to steal my hard drive. I tore the connector of the keyboard accidentally when I was trying to move it. But anyway, like I said, even if I take this apart, it doesn't matter. Now I can't seem to find the hard drive. So I've decided to try to remove all the screws that I can find to see if I can find the hard drive. This is the hard drive. There's an mSATA hard drive that's 128 gigabytes. And obviously, I know very little about this laptop because this casing obviously will not work. So now I'm going to try to find a casing that fits this so that I can try to reuse this hard drive. Okay, so that's how it goes. Now, I don't know whether any other part of this laptop can be salvaged. I would like to try to see if I can convert the monitor into a standalone, but I'm not sure whether it's worth the effort. Anyway, I'm going to try to YouTube and Google up stuff and see whether this works. Okay, now I'm trying to take off the LCD screen. Just again, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just gonna figure this out as I go along. This pops up quite easily. I've broken this. Whoops. So I've actually broken this when I popped it. I don't know what I'm doing. Again, I'm just figuring it out as I go along. Okay. Fortunately, this is a dead laptop, so yeah, it's okay if I ruin it. At least that's what I'm telling myself before I send this for e-cycling. Okay. Yep. I'm just going to put this aside. Okay, should put it under. I'll put this aside. Okay. Okay. I think I'm gonna see whether I can unplug something or other without cutting it. Okay, so this goes in and plugs in here. So let's see if we can unplug it. This is the cable. At least I think so. If it's the same colored stuff. This should be it. Just going to pull all this out. Nope, I've been lied to. This is the black one. So this black one, if I'm not mistaken, is the one that connects to the power. No, I don't know. This is okay. Yes, it is. It's the same one. Ah, how confusing. I don't know what's going on, but fortunately it doesn't seem to be overly complicated. Okay. Okay. There we go, there we go. Okay. I think it's gone into the hinge. So I'm gonna try to see if I can, yeah, it's in the hinge. I can't seem to remove this from around it. So I'm gonna try to remove these screws and see if that will help remove that, help free up that cable. Okay, still not coming loose. So I'm gonna try to remove these screws. Okay, it's not coming off. So as we've learned earlier, sometimes using a small screw doesn't work. So I'm gonna try the big screw and see if that helps. The big screwdriver. Yep, the big screwdriver works so much better in this case. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this with care because the screen is something that I don't want to wreck. Okay. There we go. Yes, I've got the LCD screen pried off and removed. I'm just going to remove all these additional like tape. Can this screen be used? I honestly don't know. And I'm going to do a little bit of research to check if the price is worth experimenting with. So for the rest of the laptop, I don't think it's worth salvaging because the motherboard is already dead and I've ruined the keyboard. And also I tried Googling and to convert the keyboard into a USB keyboard looks so much more troublesome than it's worth. And honestly, you can just buy a new USB keyboard for less than 20 ringgit. So I'm not going to bother with that. I'm going to send the rest of this laptop for e-cycling. So these are the parts of the laptop I managed to salvage: the SSD hard drive, the RAM, and the laptop screen. Stay tuned because I will be sharing separate videos on how I managed to save the mSATA hard drive and convert the LCD screen into an external monitor. I gave the RAM away, so there'll be no video for that. Thanks for watching!